Check it.
Hello, everybody. This is your host, one of the hosts of this Tuesday morning Be Encouraged program, and of course, our other host, who is the most, Mr. GP. Are you with me?
I am with you, kind sir. Happy 4th and 5th and 6th.
That's right. No, I'm still feeling the 4th of July today. You know, I'm still feeling the whole Independence Day thing. I almost put up some flags and stuff in the background to have, just show what a patriot I want to be. I hope that I'm as good a patriot as anyone else. But anyway, but I'm not as good a patriot as the guys who put on the uniform and go out and do their job. That's just, they have all my respect in the world. It's just, God bless them. I mean, I just try and keep them in my prayers as often as I can, because I know what they're going through, I mean, from having friends that have experienced that and done that. And my father, he worked for the Army for a long time, was in the Army for a long time, and then worked for him for a long time too. So, yeah, so I'm kind of in on the old military culture. So I know what it's like, and gosh, it can be hard. I can't imagine being in combat. That's crazy.
That's why they're heroes. That's why
exactly
we talk
right.
about them that way.
Yeah.
I say this: patriotism to me is the love of your fellow American.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And a belief in that we're all one. That to me is patriotism. Sometimes and somehow patriotism has been kidnapped and turned into this other thing.
Yeah.
But to me, and I live from this, that if your patriotism doesn't include all Americans, it's not patriotism.
That's right.
Salute the heroes. Wish better for the non-heroes, but love your brother, love your sister. That's when this company is at its best.
Yeah,
is when it is love based and it is motivated, moved, and enlightened by love. That's patriotism to me. Love your country enough to love your brother. That's where I stand on it.
Yeah. And then after that comes a universal, a thing that you need to. I mean, you really just need to love everybody, and no matter what, even if they're evil and bad and mean and nasty, you still got to love them, And I always love that line: "Kill them with kindness, baby."
Yeah, I mean, we're a better nation. We're a better people when we work from that. I mean, that's the beauty. The malicious, less than love thing. Those folks have their own issues and things to deal with. But
right.
For people in my circle, for the people who I am drawn to and who are drawn to me, these are worldly folks who have figured out a way to love every day. Like even when it's not easy. So there's some days where, you don't feel that way. But on those days, it's the most important days.
Right.
It's the most important day to find some way to get yourself out of that space. And yeah, we're a pretty cool country when we're loving each other.
No doubt about it. That's why everybody wants to be here. I mean, there's so many people that want to. Not everybody wants to be here, but there's so many people who want to be here. The sad thing is for me, Derrick, is the people who are here who don't want to be here. And I'm like, there's lots of places.
But see, that's interesting. Like I don't know anybody who's here who doesn't want to be here. That's the beauty of it, is that you're not bound to it.
That's right.
Like there are planes and roads out. Nobody, you can. I don't know. I always draw that clear line between somebody who wants a better America,
Yeah. Okay.
rather than saying that somebody is dissatisfied with America. There's a huge difference between saying we could do better than what we're doing.
Sure.
Than saying that I don't want to be here. I don't hear much of I don't want to be here. What I hear telling those people who want a better America that hey, if you don't like it, get out of here. But no, we aspire to better than. We're coaches, educators, community leaders. We want better for our people. We want better for everybody. So I'm okay with people saying they want America, the better version of America, or the greater version of America, as long as they're sincere and when they say it, right?
Yeah.
Like, tell me you love the country, and then show me you love the country. Like that's
right. Well, and the other thing is too, when you hear someone say that they're dissatisfied or that they're, they're not really all the way happy. They love their country. I don't know if they say that but they're upset with something with the country. That's fine. What do you think should be done? Don't just sit there and cry and moan and groan. Throw out something. Throw out an idea. Let's try and go from there. And there's a lot of people who've been doing that, especially recently. And some of the ideas have been great. Some of them have been, we'll see how that works out. But all in all, I think it's for the betterment of our country, like you just said. If that's what we want to do, is make the country even better, then that's going to be evident to everybody when the thing is put forward. When you have half the people that disagree and half the people that agree, we need to look at changing that then, so that everybody can get, or the majority can get on.
I'm not sure that America functions on unilateral consent. Like, I'm not sure that we can.
No. Right. Yeah.
But I also work from this. Do right by people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There are people that have ideas that think America could be better.
Right.
They get vociferous if they're not being heard. If they feel like they're not being heard.
Right.
You feel like they're not being considered. Other than that, then it's conversational, and it really is. Work from the thing that if you were the person asking for change, can you consider that? Like, that's America to me, is can you take a moment and consider if you had to fight for the thing that person is fighting for? In a lot of cases, there are people who have never had to fight for anything in this country. Other than the original battle, there are folks who didn't have to fight for anything. If you don't have an amendment that had to fight for you, right? Think about that. If you haven't had to have an amendment for you to be considered the same.
Yes, you're right.
Right. So
yes, that's
through
correct.
all of that stuff, allow us, that's why we have amendments, because sometimes we need to redirect from where we were to get to who we want to be.
Right.
That's what amendments are for. That's what adjustments are for. That's what new laws are for. So whoever is all for it, and again, if you love America and it's perfect 100% of the time, wonderful. There's nothing wrong with that. If there's something that's missing about America, even if it's a small thing, if you tell me that I really wish this was different, I'll listen, because the American in me knows that I should listen. Like that's like if Lee came to me and said, listen, man, they need to do more for us do with facial hair. Okay, talk to me. Right? Like,
yeah.
Like, talk to me. You need things. If there's medicine that would be beneficial to you, talk to me. Talk to me. If there's a space that you require to be in, America has to remember, and it has to enable its ability to listen.
Mm-hmm.
Just listen. And most of the time, we can get to common ground, even if we don't get to the end game mission.
You can agree to disagree.
Well, I don't even think that you need to worry about
that. Yeah.
Disagreement. I think it's, hey, we're talking.
Uh-huh.
None of us are perfect. None of us have all the answers. So guess what? real Americans, the good Americans, will listen and will consider. That's all anybody wants.
Right.
Hear me and then consider me.
Yes.
And then if we disagree after that, we can still high five and be out about our day.
Right. And or if we listen and even if we disagree, we can still deal with it. I can deal with that. You know, I can hang with that. That's cool. I mean, I'd rather be somewhere else, and I'm going to continue to push for it to be somewhere else. But I'm good with where it is, and we can work with where we're at.
I'll find the 99% that we share.
Yeah.
And that 1% or that 0.1%, whatever it is, remember the rule, we're 99.9% the same. It's that 0.1% where differences lie.
Yeah.
I try not to judge people based on the 0.1%.
Oh, well, how about
there's no lot like
on a lot more than that.
Yeah, but think about how illogical it is to base your interaction with somebody based on the 0.1%.
Yeah, it's very illogical. There's no question, and you know, and that comes from though being, and I think I'm getting ready to start this whole movement, but being MOGs, you know what I mean? If we are MOGs, which is men of God, then we know that we have to love people. We have to love our neighbors. We have to love people. We have to love the least and love the least of these, not the least.
No,
we love a lot,
right?
You know, but we need to love the least of those. And we need to love people with way more than 1% difference from us.
There's simplicity in this thing. I love when somebody tells me, if you're a man of God, then your actions can show me. You can't be hateful, malicious, separatist.
That's right. And call yourself a man of God.
Right.
You can't call yourself. You got to be a man of God.
Right. You can't. I mean, that goes with that. Is that is required. And listen, if you are a man of God, then you don't have doubt about tomorrow anyway.
That's right.
Right. Yeah, so you know, wait a minute. He didn't have. I've never got the email from God saying I need your help.
Right.
Like not to serve. No, that's never been necessary. So if there are people who are acting in behaviors that are ungodlike, then okay, then you've made the statement to me that that's not your space.
That's not your space.
It's still not my job to judge you because there's somebody already handling that.
Yes.
Like he didn't ask for my help. She didn't ask for my help. So you know, I'll go through.
Exactly.
I live by this thing that just give me one more day.
Yeah.
Because that's been the greatest gift that could be given to me, is that I ask for one more day so that I can do the things that are godlike.
Yes.
Like I don't ask for another day to go and steal from my brother or put my foot on somebody or push somebody or hold somebody down.
Well, wait a minute. Being a radio station owner, you got to put your foot on a few people.
But here's the thing. I won't have to.
No, I know.
I won't have to. Like
that's good.
My thing is to allow people to do what they do well.
That's right.
And when they need my help, if it's a thing that they do not do well and they are asking for my help, and if I can, I should. Yeah. That's simplicity for me. Manage from the place that I can understand what anybody would ask for from me.
Right.
Hey, I need your support, DP. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I got you.
I got you.
Exactly.
That's the right way. You know, if I think you're hurting yourself,
that's right. You step in.
Then I step in and stand. Right? Like you're hurting yourself. You're not doing better by yourself.
Right.
Okay, well, we can high five and move along.
That's right.
And I'll drag you in whatever direction I need to drag you. Like you, okay? Come get a hug. We'll figure it out. Like that's
right.
You know, I figured that those words get me through a lot of difficult situations. It's come get this hug. We'll work it out.
We'll work it out. Absolutely, man. That's for sure. And there's too much of us in this world now that that shy away from that, and you know, they feel like I can't. And this isn't the real. I mean, there's the virtual hug, and then there's the real physical hug.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I am a full-on believer in the real physical hug. And it just shows somebody a connection, and it shows them that you care, and that you love them, and that there's nothing short of catastrophe. That's the word, catastrophe, that's going to keep that from happening. And in my mind, is never going to keep that from happening. I'm going to love you no matter what. You know, we may not work together anymore, or we may not be, but I'm going to keep on loving you. Keep on loving you.
There's a comedian, George Wallace, old time.
Oh my gosh, I love George Wallace.
Forever. And George Wallace ends every performance with these words. He will say, "I love you all, and there is not one thing you can do about it." And that to me is like the way the process can and should be.
Yeah.
That, listen, whatever you're going through, and again, when I can't give you an actual hug, the virtual hug, like I spend a portion of my day just sending out virtual hugs to people so that they know that they're seen and that they're considered, even if I'm not present.
Right.
Even if I'm not present, it's, wait a minute, you're good. You good? Like I'll ask them, just like sometimes, like, you good?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, hey, just hey, give me a smile and let's go. I'll make videos and I'll send 10-second videos out.
Yeah,
because it doesn't take much.
And you do.
Yeah, and it doesn't take much to do a lot.
Yes,
for a lot of people, right? Just, hey, listen, I don't want anything right now. I don't need anything from you right now. I just want to say I appreciate you being in my life. Like that, if we live from that, we can handle all the rest of the stuff. Because and I've never done that and had the person go, wow, I needed that today. Like, how'd you know? How did you know?
Right.
The reality is we all need that today.
Right.
Even if we're getting a chock full of real hugs, one more person being connected and thoughtful enough to take time, even if it's 10 seconds, to say, hey, we can change lives on a daily basis by doing the very small things very well.
It's very true. Very true. Let me, I have to do this real quick. This is way off topic, but you brought up George Wallace.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember as a kid, I was probably 11, maybe. And I was watching the Merv Griffin show, and George Wallace was on. And I don't know if you followed him in those days and saw those things.
Yeah.
He came on and he did a little stand up before he came over, and he sat down, and Merv Griffin, not being the brightest bulb that ever lived, he looked at him. He goes, "Oh, you're not wearing socks." And George looked down at his feet. He goes, "Sure I am. They match my gloves." Boy, I thought that is so quick, and that is so funny. I thought that was great.
He does Vegas. He does residency in Vegas. And his ability to take the most basic of things, and turn them into amazing stories.
I mean,
he's the comedian's comedian now. I think
he is. Oh no, I've seen so many times where comedians refer to him as being
Seinfeld, Chris Rock,
exactly.
Eddie Murphy. They all pay super high respects to George Wallace. He's just like, I'm just loving people and whatnot. Anytime that he would finish everything with and whatnot. And it's the best.
What a joy he was. He was just still is. I mean, he's still his wit sharp, man. Oh my gosh. He was so, and I just I remember that point at like being 11, 12 years old going, I want to be that sharp. I want to have a comeback for somebody that fast before they even know what hit them. And and that was the thing. I was floored by that one little bit. I just thought that bit was just perfect, and it was so awesome. And it was also for me, and I do it now. If someone ever said to me, "Hey, you're not wearing socks," I said, "Sure I am. They match my gloves."
They match my gloves.
Yeah, and I just, oh my gosh, so
I met him in Vegas about 4 years ago.
I'm
He was
jealous.
doing a show, and we went.
Jealous.
And no, actually, it was much longer than that. But we went to the show, and after the show, sometimes comedians will go off to their own. But in this particular case, George came out,
Yeah,
and he got back, and he just decided to hang out outside the theater that he was performing at, and just took pictures and told jokes. But he did a thing that I'd never seen somebody do before. He would say, "Turn on your camera." He goes, "Turn on the video." And then he would get next to you and he would tell a joke that he had not told in the show.
Right.
And he would let you record him telling this joke.
Nice. Yeah.
He said, "What's your name?" And I said, "Derrick." And he goes, "Derrick." And then he told the joke and he made it personal and he made it matter. And it was just that stuck with me to this day. Now to think about it, it had to be over 10 years ago. Because I was looking.
Did you still have that video?
No, that's phones long time ago.
Yeah. Too bad though, right? Yeah, it's like, wish they had the cloud back then. We can put the up on the cloud.
Right.
Yeah.
I've lost a ton through technology and advances. I've lost a lot of photographs and videos from really cool people
and contacts too.
Right.
Contacts over years, and you're like going, "Man, I had his number. I need to call him."
But I also look at it this way: God has a plan for me. He knows better. He knows there's some stuff I did back then that, quite frankly, I don't want.
George Wallace says the same thing. He's like going, "Ooh, there's lots of stuff I don't necessarily want to share with the world."
Some of those toga parties back in the day don't need to be on video, man.
That's
it's like you chug beer out of a what?
Yeah, exactly. No, I've been there myself a little bit. Not, you know what I mean? I'm pretty tame, but there's been a few times where I'm glad there's no video.
I am tame now. There is no. That is not my testimony that I've always.
I hear you.
Back in the day, right there at the corner of Route 7 was Champion Sports Bar. Buddy Billy Ratty worked out of there, and then after
Redskins used to go in there.
Yeah, this was after that. I managed it when it became the Star Bar, and then the Star nightclub, and we managed it. Well, for my 30th birthday, all of my friends gathered and said, "Okay, you're not working. We're gonna abuse you tonight. We're going to abuse you." And abuse me they did, because their mission, it was my 30th birthday, and it was their mission to get me to do 30 shots of liquor throughout the morning.
My God.
Well, not only did I succeed at the 30.
You kept going.
But, because in between the shots, people would bring a beer, you drink along. Lee, at some point during the evening, after I had apparently made out with every woman in the place, I ended up, they couldn't find me, and they had to send out a search party. They found me in the manager's office under the table, cuddling a trash can.
And this was how many? So this was a few.
This is my 30th.
God, there was no phones on their cameras.
Oh
yeah. Oh,
let me tell you, there have been no great videos from that night, because So my buddy, finally they're like, "Let's get him out of here. He's done." Because you run a bar, the local police know who you are, right? Sure. They know, and they see me being carted out of the bar. Well, my buddy Charlie Schaefer, who also lived in Falls Church, had this big monster truck.
Uh-huh.
And to tell you to get into it, it was 6 foot over.
Oh, yeah. I know what
Right?
you're saying.
So they get a group and they propel me up into the truck. And the police officers are standing there watching this, just laughing. They're
I'm
just
about to say, they ain't watching, they're laughing.
they're laughing. And they get me in the truck and they says, okay, get him home safe. And I'm leaning out of the truck. So of course I'm still decorating the street. And as we take off,
especially after being humped it up, that's when the gut goes.
Right.
Okay.
After taking off, they forget to seat buckle me in.
Oh God.
And I am hanging out of the window on the passenger side.
Mm-hmm.
And the door opens.
Are you hanging from the door or did you come out?
I'm hanging from the window.
Yeah.
Folded over the window.
And the door is swinging out, and you're like, hey.
Top half out, bottom half in. Needless to say, I've never done that.
Mm-hmm. And do you have actual memory of that, or is that just?
I have full memory of it.
Okay, all right.
I'm not sure that I've ever laughed as hard as that.
Right.
But I knew this is a moment.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I had alcohol poisoning, and
I bet.
I never did it again. Like that was the grand finale of all that. It was like, okay, I've reached my maximum. I can.
Right. I know. I got you, man. Me and two of my roommates and I, we had a apartment, and one New Year's Eve we sent out actually a video to everybody to invite them, and that was actually on a VHS, because we didn't have the phones and stuff.
Right.
And we made a video on a VHS and sent it out to our friends and family and people that we wanted to come. We went and rented tuxes to be the hosts, and I decided to get the old 180 proof grain with some great Kool-Aid. Drank a little bit more than half of that little pint bottle.
Hello.
And I have no memory there's about a 5-hour place that I have no recollection of. And someone did have a little Instamatic camera. There were some pictures. I don't know what happened to them, but there's some pictures. I was holding up one of those lazy boys. I was holding the lazy boy in the air with a girl sitting in it and smiling. No, I mean, and that's the scary part. And so really, since then, I've never been that inebriated. I mean, I've partook a few times after that, but no, that cured me, because obviously the next or that evening there was some issues with the waterbed. Thank God it's rubber, a rubber ballast. Yeah. So, but and then the next morning, it looked like Atlanta in Gone with the Wind. People laying all over the place, and I came out and I had the most horrific headache I've ever had in my entire life. I was trying to make it to the Tylenol, where I took 5, and I just finally said to everybody, "Get out,
man!"
And went back to my room and climbed back in bed and realized, oh, look what I did last night. Yeah.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
And that was Lee's hailing moment, and that's it, because I didn't want to ever do that again.
Oh man.
No, sir. I learned my lesson right then. I know I have a lot of friends who don't learn their lessons.
No,
that's something they do all the time. And I'm like, no way.
I'm thankful every day that I've reached my max.
Yeah, we definitely that's some good stories for everybody out there watching. You got to hear Derrick and Lee air a little dirty laundry.
Every now and then.
But you know what? We're older and wiser, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
All right, well, we're at the end of our time. Derrick, thank you so much for your time today, buddy. I so enjoy Tuesdays. I'm sorry we missed last Tuesday. That really broke my heart. But I'm glad we're doing it again today, and we'll see you next Tuesday, if not before.
Yes, you will.
All right. God bless you, man.
God bless.
Take care. All right. Bye.